presidential debate kicked off in Cleveland last night, and it was like nothing you've ever seen.
Another debate took place in Utah last night. See highlights from the gubernatorial face-off.
The first ever woman voter was honored by Governor Gary Herbert. Welcome to Newsline. It's Wednesday, September 30th. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Karani Namunyo. Joe Biden and Donald Trump faced off in Cleveland's first presidential debate.
It was voters' first chance to see the two men in action head-to-head. It didn't take long for the first presidential debate to devolve into a chaotic shouting match between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden.
For 90 chaotic minutes, President Donald Trump and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden sparring over policy.
Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to dominate
Party.
you, Joe.
And getting personal.
You're the worst president America has ever had.
In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe.
With President Trump often interrupting and talking over Biden and moderator Chris Wallace.
I understand it, sir, but I have to give you roughly equal time.
The discussion starting with President Trump's decision to make a Supreme Court nomination less than 6 weeks before Election Day.
Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee.
We should wait. We should wait and see what the outcome of this election is.
And pressing the president on a New York Times report alleging he paid no federal income taxes for 10 of 15 years beginning in 2000.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars,
So
yes.
not 750?
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it.
He and Biden cross-talking through topics like the economy, race in America, climate change, and the COVID-19 pandemic.
Last night's presidential debate quickly turned into a presidential debacle.
Marty, what on earth happened there?
President Trump and Joe Biden's debate devolved into playground name-calling faster than you can say, "Would you shut up, man?" Let's take a look at some of my favorite quotes of the event.
There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
He's been totally irresponsible. The worst president America has ever had.
In 47 months, I've done more than you've done in 47 years, Joe. Will you shut up, man? Listen.
The moderator asked candidates about their coronavirus counteraction plans, responses to recent armed riots, and President Trump's income taxes and Supreme Court nomination. Neither candidate supplied many direct answers, but were quick to give attacks and jibes. President Trump notably refused to condemn white supremacy groups, while candidate Biden dismissed the potential of mail-in voting fraud. Moderator Chris Wallace apparently would have needed riot gear and a cattle prod to keep the candidates in line last night. Other Twitter users were concerned more about what President Trump did not say, saying Trump was given the opportunity multiple times to condemn white supremacy, and he refused. Other users looked at the debate more as a state of U.S. democracy, saying it might have been gaslit, but was essential viewing because it tells you a huge amount about where U.S. democracy is right now. For those looking for a punchy meme of the debate, Ryan Copperfield dubbed the debate, "Old man yells at old man." So whether you're watching for entertainment factor or political news, be sure to watch the next presidential debate, October 15th. Back to you guys.
If you have to have a law to mandate you to wear a mask, first of all, you're probably not going to do it anyway.
Utah is in the midst of record-setting surge in new coronavirus cases. This surge can be traced back to college students in Utah County. The state ranks 4th in the country for newly confirmed COVID-19 infections per capita. This quickly became one of the main focuses in the Utah gubernatorial debate Tuesday. Candidates Spencer Cox and Chris Peterson, competing to succeed Governor Gary Herbert, disagreed on the state's pandemic response.
If you have to have a law to mandate you to wear a mask, first of all, you're probably not going to do it anyway.
Cox stands behind the current governor's stance against mask mandate. They believe in educating the state about mask wearing, but have never legally enforced the wearing of a mask. Peterson, on the other hand, has repeatedly called for a mandate since COVID-19 cases began surging just a few months ago. The question of a statewide mask mandate was the most asked question for the candidates on social media.
Yesterday, Governor Gary Herbert attended a ceremony correcting the spelling of Seraph Young Ford's name on her headstone in Arlington National Cemetery. Ford was the first woman in the nation to cast a ballot. She was also from Utah. Better Days 2020, a statewide initiative to recognize universal suffrage, requested the name correction change. Ford cast her ballot in 1870, 50 years before all women in the U.S. were guaranteed suffrage by the 19th Amendment.
Utah is continuing to see record high numbers of COVID-19 cases. According to data reported this morning by the Center for Disease Control, the leading counties in Utah for COVID-19 cases are Salt Lake County with 31,000 cases and Utah County with 19,000 cases. Utah's state total for case numbers reported is more than 72,000. The state total is up to 694 from yesterday with additional 4 deaths. The death rate has continued to slow while the case numbers continue to rise. Utah residents are still advised to adhere to safety guidelines released by the CDC. An emergency meeting was held on Tuesday for Jordan School District to discuss school closures amidst rising COVID-19 cases. Mountain Ridge High School has reported 22 active cases, and West Jordan High School has reported 26 active cases. The school district is implementing online learning for both schools effective immediately. School is canceled today as teachers prepare for an online learning curriculum. While online learning is enforced, grab-and-go lunches will be available at both schools. In-person learning is expected to resume on October 27th.
BYU students and employees started wearing masks more often, but they are ending up on the ground. The Provo City Council updated the mask mandate last week after Utah leadership moved Provo back to orange, or moderate level of restriction. Since reopening this fall, the city requires employees and visitors at Brigham Young University to wear masks while on campus, but many of those masks end up as litter on the ground.
And I think it's just kind of confusing to see that many masks on the ground because in general, Provo's a pretty clean place, but a lot of people are just dropping their masks or misplacing them. So it's kind of a little gross.
As people leave campus, masks can be seen in the streets, on the sidewalks, in the front yards, and in the gutters. City and university officials say the amount of litter is changing in Provo, and the solution is simple. Whether you have a cloth mask or a disposable one, make sure it ends up in the trash.
Governor Gary Herbert announced Tuesday that the telehealth executive order will be extended. The order was temporarily extended through September 29th, but the commission unanimously recommended the order be extended. The use of telehealth services has been well received and successful in assisting with patient care and slowing the spread of COVID-19 among Utah residents.
As the world deals with a global pandemic, political turmoil, and uncertainty, leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints plan to focus on messages of love, faith, and hope. The 190th Semi-Annual General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints starts this weekend. Church members around the world will tune in to watch this digital-only conference. While BYU students are excited for the conference, they have mixed feelings about it being completely digital.
I was a little bummed. Just living in Utah, I sometimes get the opportunity to attend conference in person. Yeah, I'm grateful for modern technology that allows us to still view the conference digitally.
Despite the conference being digital, church leaders asked members to prepare for the conference by praying and reading the scriptures. In a recent social media post, President Russell M. Nelson said, "Conference is a magnificent opportunity to feel the depth of the Lord's love for you."
Before yesterday's debate, presidential candidate Joe Biden released his tax statements. Find out what he revealed.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been moved to her final place of rest.
It's been rough lately, so this is just like amazing, honestly.
A waitress in New Mexico was surprised by a massive tip. Find out what was left to her next.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden releases his 2019 tax return before last night's debate.
Biden tweeted yesterday, "The American people deserve transparency from their leaders. It's why, as of today, I have released 22 years of my tax returns." His return shows that he and his wife paid a 31% tax rate in federal income taxes.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been laid to rest. An army escort carried her remains to Arlington National Cemetery Tuesday morning. RBG, as many call her, was just the second woman to serve on the Supreme Court and a trailblazer for women's rights. She also had the reputation of being a judge's judge for the clarity of her opinions. She served on the court for more than 27 years.
Disney is cutting 28,000 jobs as its theme parks take a hit from the coronavirus pandemic. Thousands of furloughed Disney Parks employees in Anaheim found out they're now being laid off. The company said in a statement on Tuesday that the layoffs will affect its parks, experiences, and products. Disney said they cannot responsibly stay fully staffed while operating at limited capacity.
A New Mexico server got the tip of her lifetime, a cool $1,200. Two Las Cruces women were inspired by the social media app called TikTok. Jenny and Christy saw that social media users are asking their followers to donate small amounts that will contribute towards a big tip. This past month alone, the women have raised $1,200. They decided to surprise their lucky server at the Game 2 in Las Cruces.
Flu season is just around the corner.
Every time I get the flu vaccination, I get the flu.
Why parents are hesitant about flu shots.
How families are staying safe this spooky season.
Wildfires in California, but sunny skies in Utah. I'll show you more coming up.
Months after a drowning tragedy at Utah Lake, the families are teaming up with the Utah Lake Commission to turn their pain into prevention with a new donation drive. Newsline reporter Juliet Favero tells us more.
The Utah Lake Commission's office will be holding a life jacket donation drive so that they can collect life jackets and donations that will go toward their Life Vest loaner program.
Statistics show that as much as 80% of boating fatalities could have been prevented by wearing a life jacket.
Earlier this year, Priscilla Binkowski and Sofia Hernandez died while swimming in the lake. Their families came to Utah County Commission with the idea for a loaner station, and the Commission office expanded their idea into a donation drive and the construction of several stations. The drive begins today, September 30th, and will end October 7th. though monetary donations will continue to be accepted online even after the physical drive has ended.
People can drop off their donations at the American Fork Marina, the Saratoga Springs Marina, the Linden Marina, the Utah Lake State Park, the Orem City offices, and here at the Provo Rec Center.
This Life Jacket Drive is really a partnership with these families to create an effort to hopefully prevent or reduce the chances of a family undergoing the tragedy that they did, as well as increasing water safety at the lake.
You can go to their website, www.utahlakecommission.org, for more information.
The new Life Jacket Loaner program will begin next spring once loaner stations have been set up across the lake at different access points. Reporting for Newsline at Utah Lake, I'm Juliet Favero.
Thanks, Juliet.
With Halloween just around the corner, how are families taking precautions in the middle of a pandemic? Or are they? Valentina will join us with the answers. Valentina?
It's finally starting to get chilly and Halloween is coming up, but how are families adjusting to COVID? I met with a couple people who are finding ways to enjoy the holiday regardless.
There's not a lot of people that really care, and so I mean, I don't think COVID really is going to have an effect on, or the pandemic is going to have an effect on my plans for the holidays.
20-year-old Javon Francis plans on enjoying the holidays the same way he does every year, stocking up on candy, dressing up, and taking his brother out to trick-or-treat.
I'm still going to be taking my baby brother out, taking him trick-or-treating. If he wants to wear a mask, he's going to be wearing a mask, but I mean, most of the time you have a mask on anyways. It's Halloween, so I don't think it's really going to have an effect.
Rob Chatwin, a parent of 4, had a similar view on his holiday celebrations.
We're just going to go trick-or-treating, and we are going to dress up, and we're going to hit the trunk or treat around the neighborhood, and we'll probably go out as well to trick-or-treating after. I don't think it affects kids or even people our age very much, and we're not too afraid of it. So I don't think it's going to affect, having COVID at Halloween, and I don't think it's going to affect what we do. I think we'll still go trunk-or-treating. I think our kids will eat candy the same way. I don't even think we'll be worried about the candy.
It doesn't seem like COVID will get in the way of those anxious to celebrate, but the CDC does recommend avoiding gatherings of more than 10 people and to continue self-isolating if you've been exposed to the virus. For more information on CDC guidelines, visit coronavirus.utah.gov. I'm Valentina Yingling reporting for Newsline in Salt Lake City.
Thanks, Valentina.
Southern California, as you can see in this video. Over 8,100 wildfires burned in California this year, destroying at least 3.7 million acres. Firefighters are encouraging residents to evacuate while they are extinguishing the flames. But now let's look here in Utah. As you can see behind me, here is a beautiful sunrise. You can see that there are clear skies and you can see all the beautiful colors. But now let's take a look at some of the temperatures here in Utah. As you can see up in Logan, there's a high of 78, a low of 42. In Salt Lake, there is a high of 79, a low of 51. In Provo, there's a high of 82, low of 47. Now, as we get into southern Utah, there is a high of 82 and low of 45 in Richfield. In Moab, there's a high of 88 and low of 50. And in St. George, way down south, there's a high of 94 and a low of 60. But let's look at our 5-day forecast to see what our numbers are. As you can see, in northern Utah, we have sunny skies throughout the week. Our high on Thursday will be in the 90s, but then it'll cool down a little bit, down to the 80s, even to the 70s on Saturday, but then warm back up a little bit on Sunday and Monday. But our lows are looking a little low. And in southern Utah, we also have highs in the 80s all the way to Saturday. It cools down a little bit as well. And then Monday, it warms up a little bit. But as we have this warm weather, let's take advantage of it. It's warm, go outside and enjoy it. But that's all we have for our 5-day forecast. Now back to the studio.
BYU puts intramural sports on hold.
We decided that we would shut down intramurals.
What the future of BYU intramurals looks like. The Utah Warriors announced their new stadium.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah! Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
It is almost flu season, and BYU students can get a free flu shot. Joe Belknap is at the Marriott Center to show you how you can get one.
2020 has been all about COVID, but don't forget about the flu. Here on BYU campus at the Marriott Center, they're offering free flu shots all this week. Let's go inside to check out more.
With insurance, students and employees can get their shots for free. They just need to fill out a waiver and go through a COVID screening. Some students who came to get their flu shot said that avoiding flu-like symptoms was a big concern, especially in the year of coronavirus. Flu-like symptoms are more inconvenient this year because it could mean self-isolation and getting tested. The flu kills more than 24,000 people a year.
When I heard they were giving free flu shots down at the Marriott Center, I decided to take full advantage.
The little pinch was worth the Monopoly Band-Aid. BYU nursing students are the ones administering the shot.
It's great just to have any experience interacting with patients, and in this case these students and family members coming in are patients, and just getting some hands-on experience, practicing our skills is great.
Doctors recommend that now is the best time to get your flu shot.
They'll be giving out free flu shots at the Marriott Center through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's a good choice to get a flu shot.
Yeah, it is. Awesome. Reporting for Newsline, I'm Joe Belknap. Back to you.
1/3 of American parents say they have no plans to get their children vaccinated for the flu this year, according to a new national poll on children's health. Among the parents who will not seek the flu vaccine for their child this year, 1 in 7 say they are keeping their child away from health care sites due to concerns about COVID-19. Gary Stout, the Regional Director of Acute Care Services for Kaiser Permanente, makes his position on this issue very clear.
As a person in the medical field and then as a parent, I advocate getting your vaccination on a yearly basis.
Less than half of parents say their child's regular health care provider strongly recommends the flu vaccination this year. Those parents expressed concerns about side effects of the flu vaccine, as well as how necessary or effective they say or believe that the flu shot will be.
The Utah Warriors announced today it is intentions to build a new 10,000-seat multi-sport stadium, which will serve as the permanent home for the Warriors rugby team by 2023. We've spent a lot of time building our vision for the future home of organization, and we are excited to take the next step in this journey, said Kimball Jha, GM and CEO of the Utah Warriors rugby team. The planned state-of-the-art facility will also play host to community, high school, and other entertainment industry events and serve as a vital anchor for a live work-play entertainment-style district.
The university has suspended BYU intramural program due to the spike in COVID-19 cases. The BYU intramural department sent an email to all team captains informing them that they put the program on hold. They claimed their main concern is student safety and fear the close contact would spread the virus.
The main deciding factor was when the city of Provo moved back into an orange phase regarding COVID regulations. So when the city entered that phase, we decided that we would shut down intramurals, or the university decided rather, that they would shut down intramurals as a program in order to limit contact between students even more.
The university originally put a 2-week suspension on the program to try to get the number of COVID cases under control. If BYU decides to shut down the intramural program for the rest of the semester, almost 40 student employees will lose their part-time jobs.
The Hubble Space Telescope captures a spiral galaxy about 60 million light-years away from Earth.
According to astronomers, spirals are definitely in this season. The photo is so stunningly clear that astronomers with the telescope made it their picture of the week. They say it took 9 hours of observation to get this high resolution. This galaxy is an active one. Scientists say it's been the site of a supernova. A supernova happens when a star becomes extremely bright, then explodes, lighting up part of the galaxy with its energy. Thanks for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories and share them, you can check our website at universe.byu.edu.